Alien Earth has just released episode 7, and this was an episode that set up the season finale in the most perfect way possible. From Arthur's aftermath of being hugged and having his chest explode to Wendy realizing she wanted to leave the island after seeing what happened to Toodles and Joe metaphorically seeing his sister as dead after looking at her grave, there is a lot to see. This episode perfectly corresponded to its title, Emergence. We saw creatures emerge, revelations emerge, and the likes of Morrow and Yutani's crew emerging from the depths of the tall grass. So, with that, let's dive into this episode and break down all the important details. Here is Alien Earth Episode 7, Ending Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Wendy and Hermit. I've paired these two characters together because I feel like their arcs were interconnected in this episode. Despite being brother and sister, they were polar opposites. For a while, we'd seen that Wendy had the ability to communicate with the likes of the xenomorph. The one she'd been following since the chestburster was now at a size where it could cause serious damage. Wendy was starting to question her safety after what happened to Toodles. She realized she wasn't immortal and could in fact die, a mindset she was already familiar with, having been on death's door before transferring into this hybrid state. She wanted to leave the island because she didn't feel like Prodigy prioritized their safety. If Toodles could die, then so could she. She was also against the control Prodigy held, like erasing Nib's memories simply because they wanted to. Wendy said, "You can't just erase things," and that applied to Toodles being disposed of in Nib's mind as well. This led Wendy to go with Joe and Nibs in hopes of getting off the island. Wendy freed the xenomorph from its cage before setting out on this journey, allowing it to escape through a waste pipe. She was able to control it, get it on her side, and use it against the guards who threatened them. Earlier, Joe, Nibs, and Wendy stumbled across the graves of their mortal human bodies. As Nibs looked at his grave, Wendy said, "It's not us. We're still here." This scene turned out to be more important than it first appeared. Despite her hybrid body being behind him, Hermit mourned over her grave. A crossfade showed Wendy looking at the grave, followed by the body of Marcy being placed in a body bag. This symbolized Marcy's death in Wendy's mind, and the humanity within her being gone. It became clear when she summoned the xenomorph to kill Marcy, Wendy was weaponizing an alien specimen and becoming numb to the death it caused. Marcy was once a kind girl who wouldn't hurt anyone. Arthur's memories slowly came back as they walked, and he realized that Smee and Slightly were lying. But before he could act, the chestburster erupted from his chest. Smee broke down in hysterics while Slightly froze, realizing it had all been for nothing. They were once more reduced to children, crying, pleading, and attempting to justify their failure despite appearing to be adults. Morrow captured them and planned to hunt the chestburster, but it was ultimately found by Kirsch. Kirsch seemed aware of Slightly's actions all along, allowing them to happen so Morrow would end up captured inside Prodigy. Slightly and Smee were grounded, and with all the hybrids acting out except Curly, it feels like they're all about to rebel against the control and lack of freedom. Arthur, sadly, died for nothing. The chestburster ended up right back at Prodigy HQ, just like it started in the egg. Kirsch has been fascinated by xenomorphs since he first saw the eggs, and I wonder if this ties into his bigger plan to eventually take down Boy Cavalier. The Tsalis and Boy Cavalier. Even though a xenomorph killed a lot of people, the most terrifying thing is how Boy Cavalier and the Tsalis are becoming connected. Cavalier found out that the sheep started everything that ended in Toodles' death. Realizing how intelligent it was, he had it moved so he could communicate with it. Using Pi as a test, Cavalier confirmed its intelligence when it answered with hoof taps. He wished it could talk, which gave him the idea to put the Tsalis into a human host, allowing it to speak, use hands, and fully interact. Terrifying is the prospect of destruction. Cavalier mentioned using a scientist or even a janitor as a host, but I wonder if he'll use Hermit, whom he views as disposable, or even Morrow, now that he has him in custody. If this alien ends up in a speaking host with human capabilities, the damage could be catastrophic. Alien Earth Episode 7 Review. I thought this was a really strong episode. It was short, but that worked in its favor, keeping the pacing tight and urgent. Slightly, Smee, and Arthur on their way to the beach, and Wendy, Nibs, and Joe on their way to the boat, were equally engaging arcs that featured big climaxes, action, and tension. Seeing Wendy use the xenomorph as a weapon set up dangerous signs for the finale. The symbolic scene at Marcy's grave highlighted her lost humanity perfectly, especially as she showed no remorse for the deaths she caused. The guitar riff in the final moments matched Wendy's rage at Joe, delivering a powerful ending. With only one episode left, big questions remain. What is Kirsch's plan? Will Wendy and the others escape? Can the specimens be released? And what will happen with Boy Cavalier? Surely, just surely, there will be a season 2. Outro. So, there you have it, Alien Earth Episode 7, ending explained.